we had a conference call with Dr. Fauci. I believe it was in April, the GOP. And Tom McClintock from California and I keyed in on a couple points. Tom asked Dr. Fauci, so what about whole health? Like, there's going to be an economic depression from these shutdowns. And one of the things that correlates with lifespan is your wealth. I mean, it's no secret that the poorer people don't live as long. Okay, he didn't say that, but I'm saying that. I mean, we know that these things correlate, and you're going to make people poor.
Yeah.
Maybe not in terms of dollars. Maybe the dollars goes up because you're giving them money, but their quality, the standard of living is going to go down. How do you take into account things like cancer screenings and diabetes treatments and treatment for infections and things like that are going missed and not happening?
Cardiovascular disease is something you brought up on March 25th because you had talked to some doctor friend who said, my patients aren't coming in anymore.
Yeah, and the pharmacists. I have friends who are pharmacists. And I was like, well, your business must be great during this pandemic. They said, actually, people aren't going to the doctor, and they're not getting their prescriptions refilled. And the things that they were taking to improve their health are not being taken. And by the way, they have doctor friends. All pharmacists know doctors, right? They're trying to read their writing every day, which is almost impossible to do.
Yeah.
Don't tell Senator Paul I made fun of his doctor's writing. Anyways, he's left-handed to boot. So
no, don't go after lefties because
okay.
We're the best.
Okay. Well, they told me that they had a doctor that treats infections and whatnot, and that amputations were up because people would get infected, and by the time they went to see a doctor, because they had been convinced this was Ebola, if you went out, you were going to die.
Yeah.
So they stayed home until the last possible minute, which means by the time they got to the doctor, okay, we've got to take 2 of your toes off.
Yep.
Or part of your foot off because you didn't get here soon enough. How much? I mean, that was going on in the summer already because of this. Anyways, so the phone call with Fauci, his answer was, well, I'm just focused on this one virus. We're just focused on this. Like, holy cow, this is the guy in charge of the response?
Yeah.
And he only cares about one dimension of health for people? And then my question to Dr. Fauci was, I wanted to be fair, and I'd done the math, and we, by the way, at this point, I think the conference call happened after the 15 days had expired. And I said, I know you can't give us a date. Like, it's impossible to predict a date for when the lockdowns end. But what are the metrics? Like, what are the things you're looking for, at which point you will recommend not locking down or dampening our economy? And he was basically, we're going to play it by ear, which is a terrifying answer.
Yeah. Because
they played it by ear when they shut it down. And we were just like, they had no metrics when they shut it down for opening it back up. I said, before you get in a car with somebody you don't know, you should at least ask them where you're going and how long it takes to get there.
Yeah.
And everybody's getting in the clown car of Dr. Fauci driving. And he's not telling you where he's taking you.
Yeah.
And so that was basically my question, and he had no answer to that. So after that phone call, I was like, oh, man, we're in trouble.